Alright, boys, we're back in the video and today we're talking about why the Houston Rockets should keep their second overall pick. Because there's been some news lately about the Houston Rockets, the Oklahoma City Thunder, the New Orleans Pelicans, and the Cleveland Cavaliers. They've all been reportedly trying to trade up for the number one pick, and obviously Detroit came out saying that they would be open to trading that number one pick. So today I'm going to be talking about why the Houston Rockets should not trade up. And they should basically just keep that number 2 pick. So what's up? My name is Jae'sean. If you guys like the video, drop it below, press subscribe button. Let's get to the video. So before that, I want to thank you guys for 272 subscribers, man. I mean, it's been a dream, man. I mean, we're so close to 300. So if you guys, I'd really appreciate it if you guys press the subscribe button. You know, all the new people here, man. Daily Houston Rockets content for the most part. I mean, I am Houston Rockets content creator, but for the most part, it's been absolutely amazing. I mean, making content on the team I love, it's such a blessing, man. So I need you guys to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. It would really help the algorithm and help grow the channel to the people like Houston Rockets content. So with all those things said, let's get to the video talking about why the Houston Rockets should not trade their number 2 pick. So obviously, the day of the draft lottery, I think what was it, like June 22nd, the Houston Rockets got their 22nd, well, the second pick in the draft, and Detroit obviously got the number 1 pick. And basically everyone around the league thought Cunningham would go number 1, and then Evan Mobley 2, Jalen Green 3. But just like I want to say, in the past month, like Jalen Green has been absolutely hyped up. I mean, obviously, like, he's been really good in the G League, obviously, and people are going on record saying he's going to be better than Cunningham, which honestly I kind of believe. I mean, right now Jalen Green, he's obviously better than Cunningham, played in the G League, played against former NBA players that played at the NBA level, so I think Jalen Green is more NBA ready than Cunningham. Just the problem is that I don't really see why the Rockets would trade up for the number 1 pick. Sorry, because I don't know, man. I mean, like, Cade, he'd be cool and all, but I don't think you really compare him to Jalen Green, who played in the G League. You know, obviously, Cunningham was a stud in college. You know, I think he averaged around 18 points per game. I'm gonna just pull up his stats right now. But yeah, Cunningham was absolutely electrifying for Oklahoma City University, I think. Yeah, for the most part, he was absolutely amazing for them. He did average 20 points per game, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists in college, and shooting 44% from the field, which is really good, and basically 40% from 3, which isn't bad. But I mean, compared to Jalen Green has more NBA experience because he played in the G League. Obviously, I mean, and obviously, like, Jalen Green, like, he's an absolutely athletic finisher, someone that can dunk the ball at a high clip, someone that can just run the floor pretty fast, someone that can run the ball off ball too. So over the season, Jalen Green in the G League, 18 points per game, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. I mean, he did have lower stats, obviously, than Cunningham, but Cade was playing in college, and obviously Jalen Green was playing in the G League. So if I'm the Houston Rockets, man, I'm taking Jalen Green over Cunningham, because Cunningham, as good as he is, I don't know. I don't like the fit on the Rockets. I mean, honestly, like, I think Jalen Green is the better player right now. And honestly, Jalen Green and KPJ, like, everyone's wanting to see that duo in action very soon, because obviously, like, you know, everyone knows Jalen Green and KPJ, they're really close friends. So if we get that connection started, that chemistry started really early in their careers, then it could honestly lead to a championship later down the line, maybe like in the next few years. I mean, like, considering that we do keep our young core of obviously KJ Martin, KPJ, Jae'sean Tate, Christian Wood, and then adding Jalen Green to that mix, that could be a championship contending team within the next few years, depending on how they develop alongside each other. But I don't know, man. I'm like, Cunningham. Like, I know everyone was high on Cunningham before, obviously, the draft lottery. But looking back at it now, I mean, Cunningham, if Jalen Green went to college, man, I think he'd be averaging a little bit more than Cunningham would be, with how athletic he is, how he can score the ball. He is a scoring threat at best, you know, Jalen Green, obviously, but he's also someone that can pass the ball, you know, averaging 3 assists in the G League. So I think the Houston Rockets just keep the pick, man. I mean, if we're trading the number 2 pick for the number 1 pick, we're obviously going to have to give up some assets in return for that number 1 pick, and I don't think it's really worth trading assets for basically just a pick. So might as well just keep the number 2 pick and then draft whoever we get. Cunningham still might fall into our laps because the Detroit Pistons are still interested in Jalen Green, which kind of makes sense, obviously. So Cunningham could potentially still become a Houston Rocket, but for the most part, it looks like Jalen Green is the fan favorite for every Houston Rockets fan. You know, obviously Evan Mobley fans were still there for the most part, pretty much are still here, but not as much as I want to say like when the draft lottery started. So a lot of Jalen Green fans out there that want to pair him up with KPJ. And honestly, I'm one of those fans too. I mean, KPJ, Jalen Green, that'd be a really fun duo to watch. I mean, probably gives us a reason to watch Rockets games next year because we're not going to be that good. So, Jalen Green and KPJ, like, that's probably like must-watch TV right there. Like, if I'm being real with you, like, that's just really fun to watch. I mean, two athletic finishers that can shoot the ball, drive the ball, dunk the ball. I don't know, man. If you guys are not watching that duo in the league, then I don't know what you're doing. So, for the most part, like, obviously, like, getting back on track here, I don't think the Houston Rockets should trade for the number one pick. Yeah, I really don't. I mean, like, OKC, the Cavs can try, maybe on New Orleans, obviously Rage is New Orleans Pelicans, but with OKC, they'll have what, the 6th pick and the 18th pick. They could package those two and maybe a player for the first pick. For the Cavs, like, they can package Colin Sexton and their 3rd pick for the number one pick, which kind of makes sense because they can get, I think they can get like Cade Cunningham with that number one pick and then run Cade at the 1 and then Garland at the 2. And then I don't really know who. Isaac Okoro. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that'd work out for the Cavs a lot. I mean, getting the 1st pick and then trading Sexton to Detroit, and Detroit doesn't have to get Jalen Green, so then they get Evan Mobley at the center, and then obviously the Houston Rockets can get Jalen Green at 2. So I think the Cavs should honestly get that number one pick. It just makes more sense for them to get it, and then basically Jalen Green can fall into our laps because if the Cavs get the number one pick, getting Cade Cunningham would help them a lot at the point guard, and then trading Sexton to the Detroit Pistons, and then we can obviously get Jalen Green, maybe trade John Wall on the draft day, I guess, for like maybe another 1st round pick. Highly doubt it, but it's a possibility because we can get another 1st round pick in this year and obviously get 4 and then have 4 draft picks this year, which is honestly pretty good because this draft class is pretty deep. Obviously going to around like the first, like late 1st round, like there's a lot of young talent, a lot of really hidden talent. Daron Sharp, that's the biggest name in the late 1st round that really opens my eyes or kind of like has my eye on. So yeah, I think like John Wall, for Jalen Green to thrive, I think we need to get rid of John Wall for real. So I think I'm looking to trade John Wall and Augustine on draft day, or at least in the offseason, while we still have Jalen Green. So that's my take on the Houston Rockets not trading for the number one pick and keeping their 2nd pick. So that's in the video. You have to do, drop below, press the subscribe button, and I'm out. Peace.